Hey guys, it's Vince. Today in this video we are discussing a final build on a Master Edition enclosure for a client. I'm getting a lot of questions on how to wire or how I wire a G540 with a more advanced type configuration. This is probably one of the most advanced you'll see. You can see we have 4 GX16s on the Master Edition that are wired to support inputs. So we have one that's allocated to a touch plate, 3 that are allocated to support switches for a system, and 1 GX16 6-pin to support a spindle relay to cycle a spindle on and off, as well as PWM signals coming from the G540. So you see 7, 8, 9 terminal wired here. Now, just starting from the GX16s to support the inputs, you can see we've got ferrites installed on all 4 of these. The leads are very, very small. This is why I prefer to use silicone wire. Very easy to work with. Again, all of this is silicone wire for that purpose. And again, the green leads that you see coming out of the GX16s with the ring connectors, of course, soldered on, these are allocated to our shield drain ground for a ground bus installed in the system. And then over here, of course, our negative terminals that will be going to the negative terminal on the power supply. And of course, why we've got ring connectors on these, of course, and 4 leads, we have to install an additional bus bar to support splitting that negative terminal on the actual power supply, because if we don't do that, we only have 3 actual terminals available on the power supply itself. We'll run out of room and you'd have to daisy chain these together, which is unacceptable practice. So I wanted to show this configuration prior to final assembly. I will cover that as well. But you can see how neat and tidy everything is. Of course, I'm using a TDK ferrite right here to actually filter all of his signals that are manipulating speed for the actual spindle. This is just best practice in this configuration due to the fact that these leads right here, once again, it's not very long. I could have went with tin braided copper, but this, I always like passive filtration with this. It's just a much easier assembly. You can see how that ferrite fits in there absolutely perfectly. These leads then go right behind my fan, and you can see how clean a setup you actually have. Now again, every lead in here is soldered. I do get a lot of questions on doing the soldering. Very straightforward process. You do have to break it down in your head a little bit, but I'm sure if you study this video as you should, writing things down, taking notes, you will soon figure out it's very, very easy to do. And servicing the system will also be easy. Because again, you can see how everything is set here. IEC power in, your actual auxiliary input, fuse protection, and then we come over here and everything is basically broken out. Of course, the ground coming right here, this will be run to our power supply. Once our power supply has the master ground coming in from AC, it will ground out the rest of the system. We do have our conductive coating on our chassis, so everything there is set. It's a very, very simple platform, and when guys ask me, why does this platform cost as much as it does, you can see the amount of work here. Every lead is custom cut, because you can see it's cut at the time I'm actually installing everything, okay? And again, that's how we get a real clean, neat enclosure. I get asked that a lot. There's a lot of labor here because every connection is always multiplied 2 or 3 times depending upon what actual connections we're going with. You won't experience that if you've never done an electronic build until you do it. And you can see what we actually have here. As a matter of fact, the relay leads, you can see here, we've got our fastening connectors, we have our silicone boots, everything here is set to go. So again, I think after you guys watch this video, study it a little bit, look at how all the placement is, you can see exactly what I was thinking when I actually went through this design. But it certainly will answer a lot of visual questions you were looking for. Again, the front plate, again, we have our e-stop, we have our actual hand-built tin braided copper shielded e-stop cable. And then, of course, our power leads coming from our switch. That naturally goes to our power supply. So nothing special on this end. This is the area of concern that you guys should study. So again, if you guys have more questions, please, forward them to me, storm2313@gmail.com. Or you can naturally contact me through my eBay store. To all of my subscribers, I love you guys. I cannot say thank you enough for your support. In the video description, you'll find links to both my eBay store, which is eDealers Direct, or my direct email. And I'll do my best to get back with you as soon as possible. Thank you all for your patience. Take care.